last operation we are about to consider in our doubly linked list is deletion of a node from three places, that is from beginning, like in our single linked list, from beginning, from the end, and from any location. Okay, so the traversal and finding the position, everything is same as that of single linked list. So if you have a clear idea about our single linked list, it is very easy to understand the deletion operation in a doubly linked list. Okay, so I already mentioned in the deletion case, there are deletion is possible of a node from three locations, from beginning, from end, and from any location. So I'll show you how it is in this diagram. So here the elements I've shown as first node consists of element 10, 5, 20, and 11. Okay, so in the first case, that is insert from beginning. So in that we would be deleting the first node which contain data. Okay, so this would be the node which we would be deleting in the case of deletion from beginning. So in any of the case, we would be checking whether the linked list is empty or not. And what is the condition for an empty linked list? If header dot next is equal to null, then the linked list is null. So first we will check that condition while considering our algorithm. We can go through that. So in all these three cases, first we will be checking whether the list is empty. Then we will display, we found it is empty, we will display that message. Otherwise, if deletion is possible, then only we will be moving to this part. So this is case 1. And if from end, then if we are deleting this node, what is our part? We should rearrange or manipulate our links as header node next is equal to this node, and this node's previous link should be pointed to this node. Okay, then next is deletion of the last node. So in that case, so this is case 2. So in that case, we would be deleting this node. So after deleting this node, what is the only remaining part? We would be making the second last node's link part as null. Okay, so this is the things to be done in the second case. Then for the third case, from any location, suppose if I am specifying element at 20, our key value is 20, then this is case 3. This is just for your understanding. I am mentioning all these three cases in single diagram itself. Okay, so in case 3, we would be deleting this node. So what is the rearrangement of pointers required in case 3? We need to make the pointer, the next pointer of this node should point to the next node of the node to be deleted. Then the previous part of this node should be pointed to this node. That is, we are about to delete this node. So even after deleting this node, this linked list should exist as such. Okay, without this node. So these are the rearrangement required after the deletion of each of the cases. So we will move on. First, we will consider deletion from beginning. So deletion from beginning, let this diagram be here. We will consider only the first case. Okay. So let's remove all these dotted lines of the remaining cases. So from beginning. So what did I say? What did I mention? That is, in all the cases, first we would be checking whether the linked list is empty or not, right? So for that, first we can provide the condition if header dot next is equal to null, then we can display doubly linked list is empty. Else. In the else part only we will be considering if the deletion possibilities. Okay. So in this case, what we need to do, I already mentioned that we should reset the pointers of header node next to this node and the previous link of this node back to header node. That is, we are about to delete this node. So if we are about to delete this node, first we should give a name to this node, right? So let it be PTR. So you know how to make a pointer PTR to point to this node, right? So if we got a name for this node, it is very easy to give a name for next node, right? So let's give another name PTR1 to next node. Now things are very easy, right? We are about to delete PTR, so we need to rearrange the pointers of header.next and PTR1.previous. That's all. Okay, so let's do it. So in the else part, first we will make PTR is equal to header dot next. Okay, so we made PTR to point to this node. So along with that, we will give another name to next node. So PTR1 is equal to PTR dot next. So that is also fine. Okay, so now we got two names for both these nodes. Okay, and again special cases may be there. Okay, so keeping that in mind, we are considering the code in general, and while doing this program in the lab session, we need to consider all those special cases, but you need not write all those special cases in for exam or while discussing the normal case, we need not consider all those special cases. Okay, so right now we have provided PTR and PTR1 to these two nodes. Then the remaining thing is we need to rearrange the link part of header and PTR previous link of PTR1. So let's do it. Header dot next is equal to PTR1. Then PTR1 dot previous PREV to header. So that's all. And then one more line, that is free of PTR. So whenever this PTR is no longer, this is the advantage of our dynamic memory allocation. That is, whenever we require a memory allocation, then only we will allocate memory. And whenever that allocated memory is no longer required, then we can free it up. Okay, so for that free function, this is also coming in dynamic memory allocation and deallocation process. So free of PTR we can use in order to deallocate this memory. Okay, so this is the first case, that is delete from beginning. So I hope you are clear with this concept. So next we will consider delete from end. I'm writing with black ink itself. So in deleting from the end, which is the node we are going to delete? That would be element 11 containing node, right? So let me rub all these things, which was our first case. So we already handled our first case. Next we are considering the deletion of a node from end. That is this node. So for all the cases I already mentioned, the empty checking part is there. That is as constant. In our insertion also, inserting into an empty linked list, that was a constant part in all the cases, right? So like the same here also, we would be checking whether the list is empty in all the cases. Okay. Then in the else part, in which we require the temporary pointer, right? So let it be there. That is PTR is equal to header dot next. PTR is equal to header dot next. So what are we supposed to do? We should reach the last node. Then we should make the next pointer part of the second last node as null, right? So first let us give a temporary name to header dot next. Then let's traverse till the last node. Okay, so that's in which you know that. So provide the loop as while PTR dot next not equal to null. Till then you keep on traverse, that is PTR equal to PTR dot next. Okay, so with this loop, what will happen? You will traverse through all these nodes and you will reach the last node. Okay, so we are about to delete the last node, and in order to delete the last node, we should make the next link of previous node null, right? And what is the nice part of a doubly linked list? It is that there is no need to make another pointer to follow this pointer. In a single linked list, what we did, along with moving this PTR forward, that is rightwards, we make another pointer PTR1 to follow this PTR, right? Wherever PTR go, following PTR1 would be there in the previous node. But here there is no need because right now we are in the last node. On pointing to the last node, how can we assign a name to the previous node? We can make another point as PTR1. PTR1 is equal to PTR dot previous. So like that we can give the name, right? So this is the nice part of W linked list. Okay. So I provided the name PTR1 is equal to PTR dot previous. That previous, make use of that previous name. So after coming out of the loop, you provide the name PTR1 is equal to PTR dot previous. Okay, then what is the next thing we need to do? PTR1 dot next is equal to null, we need to reset, right? So PTR1 dot next is equal to null. Then what is the next step? Right now PTR is free from this list. Okay, so we can free up this memory area. So free of PTR. So that's it. So this is the case for deleting a node from the end of our linked list. Okay, so this is the case of deletion from end. So next we will consider the deletion of a node from any location. This is also even more easy when when we consider the case of deletion of a node from any location of a single linked list. It is easier than the operation in single linked list. So next we will consider the deletion from any location. So let me redraw this diagram so that we can make use of this space also. So I will draw it fast. So let it be 2, 10, 15 and 20. Okay, again in this case also chance for special cases are there. Okay, but that we need not consider right now. That we will consider only during the lab session. So on doing the program and getting the output itself, you can understand which are the special cases. Okay, so this is our, I am writing on the edge. Okay, so consider this case, and while discussing the case to delete a node from any location, again we can have different cases at a middle location or it can be the last node. So in general we will be considering the algorithm. So we need to consider the successful case and unsuccessful case, whether the key element is existing in our linked list and if it is not existing in our linked list. Both the cases we need to consider. Okay, so for that we can make use of which algorithm? Search algorithm. Okay, so first part, let it be the same like this, that is header dot next. If it is equal to null, you display the W linked list is empty. Then in the else part, so first this PTR, we anyways require that PTR, so let it be there. So in the else part, that is anyways deletion possible. So in that PTR is equal to header dot next. So I made PTR to point to, it is about to get over. So let me change the color to blue. Okay. So I made PTR to point to first node. Okay. Then we can traverse by considering two cases into consideration, whether the key is either the key is present or key is not present. So I am providing the condition as while PTR. So you read key element also. Okay, key element. PTR to data, the same algorithm of our search. Okay, and PTR dot next not equal to null. Then what are we supposed to do? We simply move on. PTR is equal to PTR dot next. This is the only thing you need to do within the loop. So on coming out of the loop, so by the time we come out of the loop, so we'll take the example cases, right? So key is equal to, let it be 15. Okay, so if our key element is 15, we would be deleting this node, and even after deleting this node, what should happen to the linked list? The next link of this node should point to next node, and the previous link of the last node should point. This need not be the last node. Okay, in this case, this is the last node, but the next node and previous node should get linked. Okay, this is what we are going to do. So right now, we made PTR to point to here. Then taking key value as 15, we are moving on. Then on reaching here, we will stop our searching. I need not explain it again because this is our searching operation. So on finding the element 15, we will come out of the loop. Then what we need to do? Anyways, this is PTR, right? And this is doubly linked list. So it is very easy to assign a name for to the next node and a name to the previous node. How can you assign? Let us give PTR2 to the next node and PTR1 to the previous node. Okay, so you assign, how will you assign? PTR1 is equal to PTR dot previous, and PTR2 is equal to PTR dot next. It's very simple, right? So we provided name for the next node and the previous node. Now things are very easy because we the only remaining thing is we just need to reset the pointers between PTR1 and PTR2. The next pointer PTR1 dot next is equal to PTR2, then PTR2 dot previous is equal to PTR1. Simple, right? So manage the links. PTR1 dot next is equal to PTR2, then PTR2 dot previous is equal to PTR1. So right now these two nodes got linked. Now PTR is free. So now we can free up or reallocate the memory as free of PTR. Fine. So these are the contents within the loop. Okay, once we are out of the loop, I forgot to mention a condition. We need to check if PTR dot data equal to key, right? We need to check this condition. I forgot to mention that condition, so that condition is there. Okay, that is, first we need to confirm how we have come out of the loop. That is, we have provided two conditions, whether PTR dot data is equal to key and PTR dot next not equal to null. So we don't know, after coming out of the loop, we don't know by breaking which of the condition we have come out. So first we need to confirm it, whether we have come out by finding the key element or without finding the key element. So in order to confirm it, I'm providing the condition if PTR dot data equal to key. Then we confirm that is key element is found. Then we will proceed with this case. Then if statement closed, then else. Else means, suppose if the element is not present, say for example, key element is equal to 50. So on reaching the, till the last element, we will move on, right? On reaching there also, PTR dot data is not equal to key. It is true, but PTR dot next is equal to null. On reaching here, we have reached the end of the linked list. So we will come out of the loop. Then we will check whether PTR dot data is equal to key. No, even now we couldn't find the last element, right? That is, sorry, our key element. Key element is 50. So in that case, what is our result? Key element not found. So in the else case, you display you close the entire function, this else part. Okay, so this is the deletion of a node from any location. So these are the three cases of deletion in a doubly linked list. Hope you have understood the concept. And if you have any doubts regarding any of these algorithms, kindly let me know. Okay. Okay, then thank you.